Atomic Heart recently came out, and it's a really bizarre game.
The professor says you haven't slept in 3 days.
An alternate history game where the USSR was successful with something. From the trailers, you'd think it was a BioShock spiritual successor, or just another immersive sim maybe. It's not. Not even close. The game is also somewhat of a lengthy game. It was apparently going to take around 20 to 25 hours. I beat it in 13. I was excited to play this game when I found out about it over a year ago at this point, and I was left disappointed. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy this game as much as I thought I was going to. And to explain what I mean, let's just get into Atomic Heart. So with the game's opening, you can get these cool cartoons that play over the difficulty select screen. It's interesting. The most interesting part about this entire menu.
All of our spots, Andre. They're going haywire. What the hell did you do to them?
They've been like that all day. Number 3 is booked. I need these houses painted, but look at what they're doing instead.
Give me your control code. I'll set them straight. Hold Piggy, sweetie.
Oh, thanks, Mum. The code's 0451.
You dickhead.
The game opens and they
The Chelomey complex was built from the
made the
ground
glove
up to be the
talk.
ideal
Oh,
workplace.
not off to a good start. The opening here is kind of gorgeous to look at. This apparently is running on the Unreal 4 engine too, which is surprising to me. I mean, I have no complaints here. It's beautiful looking.
Talk about style. Science is power, I tell you. The boss has a way of looking down on insurmountable obstacles. I really respect that.
There are no obstacles science cannot surmount.
Other than an electronic glove that never shuts up.
Here is your vehicle.
Robot Twins Atomic Heart. Wow. What you looking at there? Do you knock? Now I want to take the time to talk about gameplay, a different style than my previous videos, but let's do it. Of course, one of the abilities that you are introduced in the opening of the game is the scan ability, where you just hold out the letter L, and you can use it to find places that you haven't searched for resources yet, or just find any enemy in a room.
You are now capable of seeing hidden objects. This ability could prove very useful in the future.
Get out of my head! 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 And of course, in this game, you have your weapons. An axe that you use the force to pull out of the ground, and a shotgun that just spawns in your inventory. Seriously, I don't know where this came from, but I definitely did not craft it. You also have a Makarov, and it's not a terrible pistol, at least compared to regular FPS standards. You got this AK, and it's just an ammo eater. It just feels kind of weak for what it is. The rocket launcher, called the Fat Boy, this thing is indeed a rocket launcher, and it goes boom. You also have this tiny little energy pistol that you get for free from this fridge. And oh, we'll talk about the fridge very soon. You have the Dominator, which is an energy rifle. It shoots somewhat fast, and charging it up can shoot this blue ball. There's also a railgun, which felt kind of underwhelming. Granted, all the guns are very underwhelming, but you kind of have to play this game pretty slow when you use the railgun and aim with precision. There's melee weapons, of course, and yeah, they just seem to be more efficient in most cases, especially in certain boss fights, or all of them, really. You You can upgrade all your weapons and gear here at this fridge. A really horny fridge.
I'm shaking. Squish your polymer inside me.
I feel uncomfortable. Here you can use materials to craft weapons, ammo, and stuff like that. You can also buy upgrades for your glove, which can give you abilities, like the plasmids from BioShock. The first one is Shock, disgrace to the Electrobolt. This thing sucks so bad, and they pretty much forced you into using it. It is locked to, for me on Xbox, the Y button. Upgrading it didn't make it feel any stronger, and it doesn't even react to water. There is Frostbite. It is the best one. Mass Telekinesis is pretty useless until you get the upgrade that lets you slam things to the ground. Polymeric Jet, I don't know what this does still. Apparently this amplifies the effects of environmental effects on enemies, but like, it's just pointless to me. I don't feel like swapping between abilities to make one better. The Polymeric Shield, which is just a shield, I think. I didn't even use it because I didn't even notice it had a tab. You're also forced to only have 2 active at a time besides Shock, which I wouldn't mind. The only problem is there is only 5 abilities. There's just a lack of choice, it feels like, especially because one of them just outclasses the rest. Same thing kind of goes for weapons, aside from the rocket launcher, the Dominator, and maybe the shotgun, just maybe because it's just as inconsistent as the BioShock shotgun. Melee weapons are still just way more effective in most cases, to where the game doesn't feel like a BioShock game, it feels more like Dying Light. There's also these random things in the game, like cars. You can drive cars, only red ones because this game is a communist game. And they control terribly. You also need to loot for materials in this game, so of course, the glove just eats everything instead of wasting your time. Great feature, it's awesome. Now to the enemies, obviously one of the other key components to the game. They're fine, I guess. You got the Pedo Squad, these robots that are kind of basic. There's 3 kinds. One that wears white, they do nothing. One that wear black, they shoot lasers and are more aggressive, and some that have a shield and a shock stick. Frostbite ruins these guys though, it makes them pretty much useless. You also have the mutants. They are basically zombies. They only spawn when these flying plants called sprouts take a core. Hey, when have I heard that before? They have a cool design with their grotesque face split up open to look like a fly trap. Then you got the other ones that just have a spore on their back that spawn sprouts. These guys are really fucking aggressive as well. Then you got flying robots like these ones that rebuild the robots that you just killed. These ones that shoot lasers, and these ones that have cameras, because yeah, cameras exist. You can't hack them though, you can only destroy them. Then you got the laborers. They really think they can be the chainsaw dog. The engineers, these guys are like a Wall-E knockoff, and they don't attack you unless you attack them, so I wouldn't really consider them much of an enemy unless you are me, an asshole that likes beating everything with a stick.
Here's your ticket. Now start the engine.
Your ticket has expired.
Then you got the Roto Robot, which I mean, look at him, he's adorable.
16 times the detail.
Now let's talk about the other enemies, the boss fights. So Hedgie, the Omnidroid, I got to him like 7 to 8 hours into my playthrough, and was it worth it? Honestly, yeah, I love this boss fight. It felt like something out of Doom Eternal, and the music just made it even better. Then you got Floosh. I hate this asshole with every fiber of my being. If he grabs you, you are forced to do a QTE to get out of it, and man, I love video games. The next boss fight is against a robot called a Belyash. Funny thing is, I fought this knockoff bouncer way earlier than I was supposed to, and basically knew how this boss fight was gonna go the moment he showed up, so it was just even easier. After the boss fight ended, I noticed this pop-up just infinitely shows up every time you walk into the area you fought him in. Then you got Natasha, the most boring boss fight in the game. Just stay out of their reach and you win. Then you got the Dewdrop boss fight. It's also just kind of boring and easy. Its introduction is cool, how it jumps out of a whale though. finally, the most important boss fight in the game. The robot twins. It's a fun boss fight, kind of. You kill one of them and they both die.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.
Automatic sorting hub is used to provide the nearby factory with birds and animals.
That's called cow tipping.
And the hacking minigames, they're just not fun. Honestly, they're as fun as the BioShock hacking minigames, and we all know how unfun those are. You have the one where you gotta redirect colors and put them in the right spot. Then you got this other one where you gotta snap your fingers at the right time. It's so tedious. The only issue is upgrades do not make it easier. There's also parkour in the game. That's terrible. It's kind of forced into the game and it's terrible. You can't get upgrades to make that better either. There's so many things it feels like it's missing from the game, and none of the upgrades actually really fix some of the actual issues.
I'm easy to talk to. I can tell that you've been without a woman for too long, Major.
Emotional damage!
Now the story. I just don't care. I really don't. I'll be completely honest, I forgot most of what happened, aside from these limbo scenes. These are really weird, and apparently the main character had an implant to where when he goes into limbo, he just goes into combat mode and kills everything, I guess. And there were 3 incidents of this. One of them plays the annihilation sound. I hated the dialogue. It was arguably worse than Forspoken. There are 2 endings here as well. You can give up and leave and kill the glove. Honestly, the best ending. It is considered the good ending. Then the second ending, where you go to fight the guy you were working for. Naturally, you would probably pick the second option because this is how you can fight the twins. However, these endings are just terrible. So basically, the whole point of the second ending is that the glove was manipulating you to kill the other guy and so he could take over. That's what I got from it because I just skipped through all the dialogue. There is just way too damn much dialogue. I could honestly compare it to High on Life because there was way too much dialogue in that game to where it never took a chance to breathe and let you take in the important information that you needed to know. However, the difference here is I think Atomic Heart was trying to be serious. This game has the obsession with having the main character say crispy critters, like it's a bit that will catch on. What the fuck does crispy critters even mean? This isn't even a funny catchphrase, it just leaves me in confusion. Granted, this game was very much obviously written in Russian first and then translated to English after, but I still don't care. I ended up skipping a lot of dialogue parts of the game, that I could at least, and if I could, I would skip the cutscenes too, even the ones with the ballerinas in it. Yeah, I said it. This game also has a BioShock reference that is the most subtle BioShock reference you will ever see in your life.
So that's Neptune, huh? Looks nice. Actually, it looks amazing. A rapture.
Subtlety. It's a thing that exists, and it's important. The story of Atomic Heart honestly is what's disappointing most to me, aside from the lack of abilities. The amount of dialogue just killed any interest I had in it because, dude, I just want to play the game. And the pacing is absolutely abhorrent. Look at this cutscene.
Great, just a little more. You okay?
I'm fine.
How many fingers?
4.
Great, now get up. I need your help.
Who are they?
They brought you here. Put pressure on this wound. They tried to save you.
And who are you?
Doctor.
You got a name?
No time for small talk.
God damn.
Forceps. Forceps, forceps, forceps!
I'm on it.
Get me them!
What's this doing here?
What took you so long?
You got a neuropolymer capsule.
We don't need one.
So what's your name, Doc?
Larissa, and you ask a lot of questions.
You know what? You're on your own. You got this.
Where are you going? It's useless. We don't have the equipment.
I've got the equipment. Great. Now we're getting
How
somewhere.
did you do that?
You ask a lot of questions. Get out! Larissa!
This is total whiplash for no reason. And yeah, I did not like any character in this game whatsoever. Now, performance. It performed somewhat well, actually. It didn't have many technical errors like frame rate dips, lag, and I didn't crash once. Modern game not crashing on me once is a miracle, and I hate that this is a disappointing game too. However, it still has bugs, quite a bit. Like this one, where you infinitely sit in an elevator. Or this one, where the cutscenes just break and force you to reload your save. Or this. Aww. I'll keep this a bit short, but yeah, the music. I think it's an important part of a video game, and the music is very good. Probably the best thing in this game, aside from watching your character stomp on that stupid glove. The Hedgie boss fight is obviously my favorite because it is very Doom-esque. The whole soundtrack is pretty good, and Nick Dorn worked on a lot of it, so it makes sense.
Say, are the ballerinas here? Just ballerinas?
The topic of robosexuality is extremely popular among the Soviet elite. Robosexual lobbies have become quite powerful, and it would seem that the sale of related services is flourishing at the theater. In other words, no, the ballerinas are not just ballerinas.
Do you think the boss knows about this?
What do you think?
Well, given the robots he's chosen as bodyguards, guess he's a robosexual himself.
According to Ozhigov's Dictionary of the Russian Language, the word robosexual is a facetious term for a person who enjoys intimate relations with machines, generally while manipulating...
Okay, I get it. He can go ahead and manipulate whatever he wants. What he does with those androids of his is none of my business. But I gotta admit, they are kinda hot.
So overall, yeah, I think this game was severely underwhelming. It had some solid gameplay, but I just felt it was missing stuff. The story and dialogue, I just couldn't care enough to pay attention. That may hurt my credibility as a reviewer, but trust me, if you played the game, you know the story isn't that great. I hate all the characters except for Hedgie. The robot twins, well, their effect wears off really quick once playing the game. If you bought it for them, well, I'm sorry for you. I can't reimburse you though, unfortunately, but you can reimburse me by liking the video and subscribing. And yeah, I think this game is just a 5 out of 10. The game doesn't even have a New Game Plus, and I don't think it will have one. Not that I was planning to replay the game anyways, because I really have no reason to. Let me know what you guys thought about the game in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, good. Now goodbye.